After episode 1, I'm sitting at 125 out of 225 tailoring recipes and 92 out of 135 enchanting formulas. Today we are pushing this number way higher. Last time I finished leveling both tailoring and enchanting the old-fashioned way, farming dungeons for cloth, crafting everything I could and enchanting all the extra gear. That's how I maxed enchanting without buying materials. I also cleared every vendor formula in the Eastern Kingdom. So this episode, it's time for the other continent. First, I go into Timbermaw Capital Garden Swing for Shaldranar Provisioner, because he sells one recipe I need. Next up, I go into Darnassus. Old version, of course, because the new one is sadly destroyed. And I get quite a few recipes from Dalaran vendors. Next, few patterns and formulas from Darla in Eshenvale, Astronar. Then, after collecting more than a dozen of patterns and formulas, I learned them all. And I include them in a crafting queue from the add-on craft sim, so I can find them later for crafting when I'll be mass crafting each and every one of these recipe I learned in episode. This icy cloak pattern is actually horde only, so I went to the auction house. My server is 28k. Too expensive. I checked some other realms like Kazakh, it's much less than that. So I created level 1 character, bought the recipe there with warband. Auction house is simple and easy. Put that pattern in the bank, and now I'm going to the crafting all of those recipes I learned. There is a bunch of few oils, few pretty nice enchants, some bags, icy cloak, dress shoes, a jenkin, some shirts. Next up we got reputations. There are actually 4 reputations. First is this Thorium Brotherhood. Reputation grade from neutral to exalted is pretty much giving this vendor, I think, 15 fiery cores, and there's the older reputation that I need from that vendor. I buy a few recipes. Most of those recipes are actually fire resistance recipes, which are initially needed for molten core. Bit more of the fiery cores, and we are exalted with our first reputation. I buy all the patterns from revered and exalted, and we can move on. Next reputation is Cenarion circle, basically turning in a quest 840 encrypted twilight text. And this should be all the reputation grade. Of course, I bought all of these texts from the vendor, and I even found a macro so I can do it even faster. So basically I click this macro, click on the vendor, and yeah, I do this quite a few times. It's taking some time. I think even more than a minute long. And with last few turnings we are exalted. So we can buy from this vendor all the patterns we actually need. So some Sylvian patterns, some enchanting, or do we have some enchanting? No enchanting, okay. And there is actually other thing. I need to do some short quest line. First killing this twilight geomancer, then killing this guy. I get his ring from another dude. I need to collect Twilight tablets. I need to get one assembled tablet to this hermit or I need to get one lexicon. 3 named mobs have the parts of that, so one mob goes down, second mob goes down, and I turn it in, and I actually have some Twilight text remaining, so I can turn them in for a chance to get some of those additional recipes from this mob. They are not instant patterns, but as much as I know, it takes 8 to 12 hours to get these recipes or decoded stuff in the mailbox. After maybe 5 or 6 tries, one of the patterns from this vendor is actually here, others not. Next reputation we are tackling in this episode is Timbermaw Hold. It's a series of few quests which give really huge amount of reputation. First is south of Felwood. I need to kill a bunch of enemy furbolgs, disrupt their hives for honey or whatever they're doing. Then another set of quests. I need to find those little dudes that are actually hiding in this totem. Then kill some more furbolgs. But in another camp, get this key for some locked up cup. Turn in those quests. Get a few more quests. All of those reputation grinding took me about 30 minutes or so. I turn in a few more of those quests. In vendor actually has the one crafting pattern. I learned that immediately. Mooncloth boots, I think. And we do some more reputation grinding. Other side of their camp is Winter Spring. We need to kill a bunch of those Winter Spring mobs for their beads. After that we are sent to the Noah Snowden, so we can help him still get the reputation and kill. For this warlock, I think I need to kill a bear, if I remember correctly. Yes, we killed a bear, we get some items from him. We turn back to those 2 people camp. Kill more of those furbolgs. Turns out their cauldron is corrupted. So we find out what happened. We get more of those slimy things. We get the messenger, get some box from him, which turns out it was actually what caused them to go insane in a way. Turn in those quests, kill the chieftain, get the book so we can actually understand them in a way. Get one more item from those. One more quest, one more turn in. Just a bunch of flying. Kill a few more of those for the beads. So those quests give 3000 reputation. And I can buy 2 tailoring patterns and 2 enchanting formulas. Next reputation is Argent Dawn. So I need to do all of those quests from that list. And I'm instantly revered with that reputation. And I can buy 1 tailoring pattern, 1 enchanting formula, 1 more tailoring pattern, And finally, one more enchanting formula. And now I buy a few of those recipes I couldn't get from the vendor because they're never there. It cost me some money, but yeah, I need to learn a bunch of recipes. So I'm speeding this up a bit. Each recipe learned gets added to the crafting queue, so I can later craft them all by the... And yeah, with the craft sim I can actually get all the materials I need with the help of some other add-on, and all of those recipes get learned. So next thing is we're crafting each and every one of those recipes. Superior defense, strength, agility enchant, actually 2 agility enchants, versatility, and enchanting is done. Next we go to tailoring recipes. Most of those came from reputations. Timbermaw, Argent Dawn, fire resistance gear from Locked Darkbringer or Argent, no, Thorium Brotherhood, sorry. And of course some of those recipes are ones we couldn't farm normally from the vendors because they were never there. So black shirt, felt cloth pants, rune cloth bag, and this is all of the patterns and formulas crafted. And with all that being crafted, we are getting close to the end of the second episode of Patternlocked. Some of those recipes actually craft pretty good transmog, and some of those patterns and plans actually are worth few thousands of gold on the auction house. Great stuff. And numbers for this episode. We are 105 out of 135 enchanting, 13 recipes learned in this episode, and tailoring is 153 out of 225. And in the next episode we are dealing with Secrets of Zul'Gurub, for previously removed patterns that are later introduced through some other means, and same thing for Naxxramas for the glacial gear. And I could, if I get enough gold, maybe even craft tier 3, and there's some patterns in Skullamaus. If there's a recipe in Classic, I'm getting it. See you in the episode 3. Thanks for watching, bye.